Okay, so we are going to go ahead and get started. It's 5:30. I wanted to wait and try to let everyone that had signed up to get in and get a Chromebook and all that good stuff. So just real quick, my name is Dee Dee Webb. I'm the Technology Integration Specialist here with Grayson County Schools, also called a Digital Learning Coach. I work with teachers and students on how to use technology in the classroom. That's kind of my forte, the thing that I enjoy and love to do. And I just want to say welcome to Grayson County Middle School. Thank you all for being here. To me, it speaks volumes that you want to be able to learn and help your child at home with the situation that we're in. So again, I just appreciate you being here and excuse me, your willingness to learn. And we do have a little rain going on, so I will do my best to get you out of here in an hour. Maybe it'll be done by then and you won't get wet, we hope. Just real quick, some of the things that I'm going to talk about today. The first thing I'm going to talk about is how to download Chrome to a home computer. So you may be using a Chromebook at home. You may be using a laptop at home, or maybe you have a desktop. But I want to show you how you can download Chrome. Chrome is a web browser. It's just like Safari or Firefox, Internet Explorer, and it's just a way to get on the internet. But since the district is using Google products, Chrome is a Google product, and it just works better with G Suite and with Google Drive and with all those things that your child will be using. So I want to show you how to do that on your home computer. I'm going to also talk to you about what a Chromebook actually is. It is a little bit different than a regular laptop or a desktop computer. I'm just going to explain to you the differences and how it works, just so you are familiar with the process. I'm going to show you how to connect to Wi-Fi. And real quick, while I'm on the topic, is everyone able to get on the internet? Because we want to be sure that you're able to get on the Wi-Fi. And if anyone isn't, if you'll just raise your hand and let me know, we can come and help you get going. Are we all good? Do you want to go ahead and log in? You may want to log in just so you can follow along. It's just a little bit easier. Is there anyone else that needs help or needs to log in to the Chromebook? So the login information that they gave you up front, that it's your child's email and their password, and that's how they log into the Chromebook. So whenever you open it up, it will ask for the login information. So put that login as the email, and then the next set of numbers or letters, that's their password. So that will be the next thing they put in. Okay, so next, just Chromebook basics. We're going to explain about logging in. We're going to talk a little bit about Clever, and Clever applies to any student that has a Chromebook that is supplied by the district. So a district borrowed Chromebook. They are kindergarten and second grade, kindergarten through second grade students will be using Clever to log in. It's just an easier method of logging into the Chromebook. Also, I'm going to talk about some Google apps, and the Google apps I'll be talking about are Google Docs, Google Slides, Google Drive, and Google Classroom. Those are the ones that we'll talk about today. There are lots of Google apps, lots of different programs that students have access to, but those are the main ones that they'll be using with digital learning. Also, I'm going to dive a little bit deeper into Google Classroom, explain Google Classroom to you, how students will actually get an assignment, how they will add a document to an assignment, how they turn in assignments. That's just the platform that teachers will be using to receive the work and also to post the work. And then last but not least is how to access OdysseyWare and Edgenuity. So OdysseyWare is the online program. So if your child is a virtual student, they'll be using OdysseyWare. And I'm just going to do, it's really quick, how to log into OdysseyWare. And then Edgenuity is what virtual students from the middle and high school will be using. And again, I'll just show you how they log into that. Okay. Can somebody help her real quick to get logged in? She's having some issues with the login. Okay, so real quick before we get going, any questions about anything that I just talked about just now? Also, I just want to let you all know that we're recording the session. That way, if parents want to have access to this and they want to see just kind of this overview, it's going to be available on the district webpage. So if you know of some parents that maybe were not able to attend, or they decided to skip town because of the rain, I completely understand. If you want to communicate with them that it's going to be on the webpage, I think that it'll be, I don't know if you all have been on the webpage, but there's a section that says Relaunch 2020, and it will be on that Relaunch 2020 section. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is how to download Chrome to your home computer. And again, this is not something that you have to do with a Chromebook. This is just a desktop computer that you have at home, or a laptop, or something like that. A Chromebook already has Chrome installed, so you do not have to worry about installing Chrome on a Chromebook.
Web browser. So that's what we're going to show you, and we're going to jump into it at this point and start by opening up the web browser.
Okay, so the first thing he is doing, he's again is on a home computer, a desktop, or a laptop. He just went to his internet browser, and this video is actually showing Firefox. So there are other web browsers out there. There's Internet Explorer, there's Firefox, there's Safari. So whatever web browser you use at home, you are just going to open that up, and of course it may take you to Google, but you do need to get to Google so that you can Google the download.
Doesn't matter which one. I'm going to open up Firefox for this tutorial, and I'm going to go over to Google's website, to google.com, and into the Google search, you want to type in Google Chrome, and you want to search that up.
Okay, again, he's just searching Google Chrome, which is the web browser that is the best one to use with using these Google apps. Once he gets to Google Chrome, you're going to see that it says Chrome web browser, and it's Google, and he's going to click on that to start the download.
The best managers should be for Chrome web browser, and it should be a Google domain here. I'm going to open that up. I'm going to select the download button on this page, and once you go through the terms of service, you want to accept and install by left clicking on that button.
Okay, let me just stop there. Once you go to Chrome, once you see the download, you'll just click download. It'll ask you if you accept the agreement. There's a little box that you click. So you click on that box and start downloading. It will ask you, do you really want to download it? And then you'll click install.
I'm going to save the file initially, and once it's done downloading, I'm going to run it. So I'm going to run the file like I said, and if you receive a user account control window, I would highly suggest to make sure it says Google link right here for verified publisher.
Okay, again, it says you will go to the downloads. Anytime you download anything, it's going to be in your downloads on your laptop or desktop, and then just click run, and it will start installing.
So I'm going to select yes, go left click on that one time.
And this takes a little bit to do, so I'm just going to go ahead and run through the video. Once it's installed, you'll see a window pop up, and it's the Google Chrome window where you can now start browsing on the internet.
Okay, guys, so you can see Google Chrome has opened up here on our screen, and that should be about it. So I do hope this brief tutorial was able to help you guys out.
Okay, so that's how to install Chrome on your home computer or your laptop. Any questions about that? And remember, this will be available on the webpage if you want to go through it. All right, excellent. Okay, so what is a Chromebook?
Here, let's take a look at the basics of using the Chromebook interface. This is the Chromebook desktop, but it might look pretty familiar to the desktop on the regular Windows or Mac computer if you've ever used one before. If you click this button in the lower left corner, you can open any app on your Chromebook.
Okay, I just want to pause that real quick. So down in the bottom bottom left-hand corner, you're going to see a circle. If you click on that circle, it will bring up the different applications that are available to use with the Chromebook. And again, we will only be talking about slides, Google Docs, and Google Classroom and Google Drive. But again, this is one place that students can access those applications. Also, if you want, well, I'll tell you what, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me go ahead and play the video and we'll go from there.
For example, if you wanted to create a new document, you could just click here. Whenever you open an application on your Chromebook, it will appear in a new browser tab. For example, if we wanted to look at Google Maps, you'll see that it's open in a new tab here. So we have two tabs, one for our maps and one for our docs.
Okay, so what he was talking about is whenever you go down to that circle and you click on an application, it will open up in a new browser tab. So he has a tab here that he's working in Google Docs, and then he just clicked on the Google Maps, and that opened up in a new browser tab. And anytime you click on a new application, it's just going to open up a new tab. And it makes it easy for the student to be able to kind of toggle back and forth between applications. Because many times they'll be using Google Classroom, and they may have to click over and tab over and look at like a Google Doc or look at something that they're needing to work on. So just know that those are tabs, and they can click between those to work in different tabs.
You can also use a Chromebook just like a regular web browser. Create a new tab and use it to go to any web page you want.
Okay, any questions about the Chromebook? Just a little overview. So just another thing, the Chromebooks are not, it's not something that you can download programs on. A Chromebook, I just say that it's a web browser with a keyboard, because you can get online, you can do things online, but you can't really, you can't download any programs. It has very limited storage as far as storing things. Now, students can download information, and it would be just like downloading to their downloads. There's a downloads folder on Google Chrome. Once that student logs off, though, those downloads go away. They are deleted. So just something to be aware of. Again, the Chromebooks just don't have a lot of storage space, and they're meant more so to be used to get on the internet and do things online using the Chrome browser. So questions about any of that? Okay, great. And please don't be afraid to ask. Yes, thank you. Great question. Thank you for asking. So with Google Chrome, anytime they open up a document, with anything Google, if they open up a document and they work on it, it automatically saves it to their Google Drive. And I'll show you that here in just a few minutes when I talk about Google Drive and Google Docs. But thank you. It's a great question, but I'll talk about it here in just a minute. Thank you for asking. Any other questions? Please feel free to ask. I promise. I always say I'm really small and I do not bite. So I promise that I'm here to help you. And if you have a question, please ask. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, so now we're going to talk about connecting to the Wi-Fi. And I think that everyone was able to connect to the Wi-Fi here pretty well. There were no issues. But I want to talk to you about connecting at home as well. So I'm just going to play this video, but then I'm going to give you a little bit more information.
On the bottom right-hand bar of your desktop, click the status bar, then click No Network. If your wireless is disabled.
Okay, let me stop that real quick. So the bottom right-hand corner of your Chromebook, you'll see what I like to call, it looks like radio waves. Okay, if you click on those radio waves, that's your Wi-Fi settings. And since you're here, we've opened up the GC Guest, and you all are probably logged into GC Guest. You may be logged into a different one. But the way you access and get logged into your Wi-Fi is down on the bottom right-hand corner and just clicking those little radio waves, and that will pull it up, and you will see the different Wi-Fi that is available to get logged into. And you all feel free to do this on the Chromebook. You're not going to hurt it at all. Just if you want to go and play with it and see how it works, feel free to do that.
The next one will let you know. To turn on wireless, click Turn Wi-Fi On towards the bottom left of the window. The system will search for wireless networks in range, then display ones found after a few seconds. Click the network name you wish to join. If the wireless network is password protected, Chrome will prompt you to enter the password.
Okay, so if you're using a Chromebook at home, this is something that you will definitely want to be able to know how to do. Whenever you click on the radio waves, you will see your home Wi-Fi. So click on your home Wi-Fi, and then you'll be prompted to put in your password. And that's the same password that you use whenever you are connected with your phone to your home Wi-Fi. Or if you have like a smart TV, how you connected your TV, how you connect your computer, all of those things, it's that same password. So just put that password in, and you should be ready to go with the home connection.
You can also check the box next to Share this network with other users to share the password with other user accounts on your Chromebook automatically. Once the password is entered, click Connect, and the system will connect to your router. Sometimes, if you change your password.
Okay, so I'm just going to stop there. He's going to go into like if you have some issues on the network, but sometimes you may move rooms and you lose connection. If that happens, there's a button where you can turn off the Wi-Fi, and then you can turn the Wi-Fi back on. So just try doing that, and most of the time you will get reconnected. Okay, questions about connecting to your Wi-Fi at home? Any questions about that? Okay. Okay, so this is just some Chromebook basics. The first thing I want to share with you is about the Clever Login. And our kindergarten, first and second grade students will be able to use what we call the Clever Login. And basically, if they now this would be in the case that they have a device that is borrowed from the district. This isn't available on a personal device, but at the district we have created a way that our little students will be able to just they can show it's a barcode. They can show a barcode on the Chromebook, and it automatically logs them in. And does anyone have a kindergarten first or second grader? Okay, excellent. Will you all be using a Chromebook from school or your own Chromebook? School Chromebook? School. Okay, excellent. So you will have this ability to do this. So whenever you do your Chromebook pickup, they should have the barcode. It's called the Clever Badge or the Clever Login, and they will give that to you all whenever you pick the Chromebook up. And I'm not sure, do you all know when your pickup time is? It's tomorrow? Okay. So they'll have those badges whenever they give you that Chromebook. And I'll play you a little video and just show you how it works. It's so super easy. And it's one of the things that I'm so glad that we have it here at Grayson County Schools, because as you all know, if you've had, littles, it's harder for them to type in all that big long password. So let me show you this video so you can see how it works. and that's it. That's how to log in with the Clever badge. So again, it's called a QR code, but it works just like a barcode that you scan your stuff with at the grocery. When they open up the Chromebook, the camera will come on, and they just show that, because every student in kindergarten through second grade has a unique barcode. So they'll shine that barcode up on the camera. They'll get a green check mark, and then they're signed in. So it's a really handy tool for our littles. Okay, so just a few Chromebook basics. I'll show you this video, and again, if you have questions, please feel free to let me know.
Into the Chrome web browser. So basically, one login to access all your resources. So no matter what Chromebook that they log into with their school username, their information will always be there and follow them.
Okay, so let me kind of clarify that what she's talking about. If the child logs into a home Chromebook or a school provided Chromebook or logs into Chrome on a desktop or laptop at home, all of their information follows them. It follows them with their account. So as long as they log in with their account, they're good to go. They have access to all of their information.
So instructions for use. Your Chromebook has a settings area in the bottom right-hand side of the screen where you can sign out, shut down, or lock your device. This is also where you can control your Bluetooth settings and volume and manage other account settings from this menu.
Okay, so this is just an important area on the Chromebook. This is where the student will log out of the Chromebook. Again, it's where the Wi-Fi will be enabled. So just be familiar with the right-hand location for how to get to those settings.
And that's located in the bottom.
Okay. Questions about just the Chromebook overall? So remember, you can't download programs. It has limited storage ability. Once they log out, if they've downloaded something, that just kind of goes away. But if they're using a Google tool like Google Slides, Google Docs, something like that, it auto-saves it, and I'll show you that whenever we go over those tools. Any questions at all about any of that? All right, excellent. Okay, so now I'm going to go over the different apps, and if you will just go up to the plus sign, or actually, are you all on Chrome already where you see Google? You see Google across everyone there? Okay, so to get to the internet, you will click on the Chrome icon, and it looks like this. It's down at the bottom of the Chromebook. And if you all would just give me a thumbs up, that will let me know that you're there and I know you're ready to go. So the Chrome icon looks like this. Ready to go? Okay. So once you have clicked on that, it's going to take you to a new, just a Google page that looks like this. And this is where you can access all the Google applications. So there are a couple different ways that you can access the tools. One way is by going up here to what I call the waffle or the Rubik's Cube. If you grew up in the 80s, you know what the Rubik's Cube is. If not, you can call it a waffle. So if you go to the waffle and click there, this is going to show you all the different apps that are available to the students. And again, I'm only going to talk about Google Drive, Google Docs, and Classroom and Slides. So let's just make sure everyone is able to find that. Is everyone able to find the waffle? And you can see all the apps. Just give me a thumbs up and I know that you're good, ready to go. Okay, great. So the first one I'll show you is Google Docs. And if you're familiar with Microsoft Word, it works very similar to Microsoft Word. I'm just going to go ahead and open it. And this will take me to where I can see all of my documents if I'm a student. So here are some of my documents as a student. Now, if I want to create a new document, all I do is click on the plus sign, and it will give me a new blank document. Okay, so, and now I'm going to answer your question about saving information. So one cool thing about Google is that it saves every like 1.25 seconds. So there's actually not even a save button where you can save the document, because it does this thing called auto save. It auto saves the student's work. And let me just demonstrate how that works real quick. So notice I have typed on the document, and now I'm just going to go up here and I'm actually going to just close this tab out. I'm going to close it. I haven't hit saved. I haven't done anything. I'm closing it out. Okay. So now all of the students' documents are housed in the place called Google Drive. Google Drive is, if you think about like a hard drive on a computer where all the files are stored, Google Drive works the same way. It's where all the students' files are stored. And again, you can go to all of the Google applications by clicking on the waffle. And then here's Google Drive. So I'm going to click on Google Drive. And whenever the student has used some recent documents, like the most recent documents, those are going to be here at the top first. So I'm going to go ahead and open this document. This is the document that I just worked on, and I clicked close, and there you see it. So it saves it automatically. So that's a cool feature with Google. And that works with all of the Google applications. It works with Google Slides. It works with Google Docs. All of the things that you saw there on the waffle, it works with all of those. Okay, so again, that's Google Docs. It's a word processing application. They can type on this, and as far as what some of these buttons do, if you take your mouse and just mouse over those buttons, there's this little, it's kind of like a little cheat menu that pops up, and it tells you what all of those buttons actually do. So if you want to try that out and see how that works, just mouse over those things, and it tells you what they are. So they can add pictures, they can change the size of the text, and I've told the other sessions that the students are going to know how to access this stuff. What's important is that you are able to help them as far as being able to create a new document, and what we just went over. So you can go to the waffle, show them how to get to Docs, show them how to get to Google Slides, and then from there, they will be able to manipulate the actual program, and they'll be able to do what they need to do based on whatever the teacher assigns them. So questions about Docs before we move on? Any questions at all? Okay, excellent. Okay, so the next app that I will talk about is Google Slides. And if you're from a Microsoft environment and you're familiar with PowerPoint and Google Slides are very similar. So I'm just going to go to the waffle again, click on Google Slides. And again, any Google Slides that the student has created, you will see them here. To start a new Google slide, I just click blank where the plus sign is. And it works just like Google Docs. I can mouse over the different tools on the toolbar, and I can figure out what I can do with Google Slides. I can insert pictures. I can change the background. I can insert a text box. I can put shapes. I can do all kinds of things. But again, as long as you know how to access and get to the application, the student will know how to actually manipulate it and use the program. The important part is just kind of guiding them on where to access it. All right, that's Google Slides. Questions about Google Slides? How many of you have used PowerPoint in the past? Okay, great, excellent. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is Google Drive. And again, Google Drive, remember, is where all of their documents will be housed and stored. And I'm going to go to the waffle and click on Drive. And you can see all of the documents that the student has created or that a teacher has shared with them. And you can also, in Google Drive, you can create documents. If I go to the plus sign, I can create a Google Doc, a Google Sheet, a Google Slide. If I click the More button, it even lets me do create some other documents as well. Someone asked in another session about how to delete a document. If you go to that document, so I'm just going to go down here to that document that I just created. And on a Chromebook, if you take 2 fingers and tap lightly, you will get a menu that looks like this. And then you can click remove, and that will put that document in the trash can. So I'm going to show you that one more time. If you are wanting to delete a document, now let me tell you this too. Honestly, I don't know that I have deleted very many documents because with an education account, since the kids have a Google account through the school, they have unlimited storage. So they're not going to run out of storage. You never have to worry about that. So don't stress and worry about having to delete things because you're going to fill up their drive. That's not the case. It's unlimited. But again, just to show you how it works, I'm just going to, where I see the document, I'm going to take 2 fingers on the Chromebook and just lightly tap. And this menu will pop up. And this menu allows me to do lots of different things. But if you go down to the bottom, it's remove, and that allows you to delete that file. Okay, that's Google Drive. How are we feeling? You all doing okay? Okay. The next thing I want to show you, the next application is Google Classroom. And this is where lots of the information that your student will be completing as far as assignments, that they will access Google Classroom to get that information. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on Classroom. And again, if you all want to do this, it's very helpful. I know that some teachers have already invited students to their Google Classroom. So if you click on Google Classroom, you may see that invitation. It may say join down at the bottom. And you can go ahead and click join, and your child will be in that Google Classroom and they will be able to see the assignments. Can anybody tell me if you see join already? Does anybody see join yet? Okay. They will be adding the students before too long. I promise. I promise you that. Okay, so now oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Well, the teacher has the option of doing what's called archiving those. So if the teacher hasn't archived them yet, they will still be there. But typically, the teacher will archive those so that they're not visible for the following year. But they just may not have archived them yet, where he or she has access. Okay, so this is, so I'm just looking at from the student perspective, from the student view. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to click on the title, and that's going to take me into the classroom. Okay, so here, this is called the stream, and the stream is where teachers will post announcements. So they may post that we plan to do a Google Meet at 2 o'clock on Friday. And again, this is just announcements that's on the stream. You do see assignments, but typically the student will go to classwork, which is the second tab, to get to the assignments. Okay, so I've clicked on classwork, and now I can see that I have 2 assignments. One is due tomorrow, and I know that because it tells me here that it's due tomorrow. So teachers inside Google Classroom can assign due dates to the assignments. And so this one in particular does have a due date. So I'm just going to click on one so you can see what it looks like. And as the student, the students can click on these and open them up so they see as well. So I've just kind of expanded it down, and I'm going to click View Assignment. And now, typically what you will see is you will see a title to the assignment, and then you will see some instructions. And you will also see the point value if the teacher has assigned a point value to the particular assignment. And then over on the right-hand side, this is where the child can upload their assignment or do their work. And they have a couple of different options here. So first of all, if they need to turn something or they need to work on something, create something, if they click Add or Create, click that plus sign, they can now go to their Google Drive. So maybe they've already created something and it's saved to their Google Drive, and they are just wanting to add it to the assignment so the teacher can see it. They can just go here to their Google Drive, and it will pull up their drive. And they have access to all of their documents there in Google Drive. So then they would just pick on the document that they want to turn in, click Insert, and the document is added to that assignment. Once they have added the document, they do need to click this button that says Turn In, and then it will ask, are you sure you want to turn in your work? So you click Turn In again, and then that work is then viewable by the teacher. Now, let's say that the child needs to work on it some more. They can click this Unsubmit button, and it will unsubmit, and the child will have access to work on it. But they do, in order for the teacher to see it and be able to give them a grade for it, they do need to click that Turn In button 2 times once they are finished. And one other thing, there's an option here for the child to add private comments to the teachers. So maybe the student had some issues. Maybe they're needing some help with the assignment. The student can type in there, hey, please, I need some help with number whatever. Or if you, as the parent, if you want to put a message in there, you could just say, hey, this is Sally, Sue's mom. She was having trouble with number, be specific so that the teacher knows exactly what it is that the child's having an issue with. And that goes directly to the teacher. So you can message the teacher this way, or the child can message the teacher this way if they're having issues with that particular assignment. And just one thing, make sure that it is relevant to the assignment and not just put something in there that's like, hey, can you call me? That's the purpose of that, is so that the teacher can give feedback on that particular assignment. Okay, and then to go back to see all of the classrooms, you click on the classroom, you click on what I call the hamburger. It just looks like 3 lines. So click on those 3 lines and click on classes, and that will take you back to the different classes. And then again, to get into the classroom, you just click on the title, and that will take you into the classroom. Okay, and that's pretty much Google Classroom. Questions about that? Anything about Google Classroom that you have a question or issue about? Okay, let me flip back over to my slide so I can see where I am. Okay, using the Chromebook offline. So students do have the ability to use the Chromebook in an offline setting. So for example, maybe the internet goes out, or you just don't have internet at home and you have a Chromebook. The student can just open up that Chromebook, they can do their work, and then once they do get to a Wi-Fi area, that information will sync with their Google Drive, and it all updates. So that's one of the neat things about a Chromebook, that it does, it gives kids the opportunity to work if they don't have Wi-Fi, but eventually they do have to get on Wi-Fi at some point. So just keep that in mind. Does that make sense, how that works? Okay, so we talked about Google Classroom and assignments. Next is Odysseyware and Edgenuity and how to access that. So if you open up a new browser tab, there will be a spot. This is your bookmark bar. That it's right under the search bar at the top of where you would type in a web page or website. So if you go all the way to the far left, you will see something that says something about bookmarks that are specific to your school. So it may say Caneyville bookmarks, it may say Lawler bookmarks, it may say GCMS bookmarks, something like that. Does everyone see that on their Chromebook? Everybody see that? Okay. So if you click on this is just a way, it's just shortcuts. It's a way to easily get to some of the programs that are available here with Grayson County Schools. And if you'll notice, if you'll just scroll down, the last two, the first one is Edgenuity. And again, Edgenuity is the program that's going to be used for the middle and high school. And I think that's what's going to be used exclusively if the student is a virtual student. I think it will also be used while we're on NTI days. So since we're not meeting in person, the teacher may choose to use some of the Odyssey program to deliver some instruction. So in order to log in, you will just go to that bookmark and then go down to Odysseyware or Edgenuity, whichever one that you need. And once you click on it, you'll be prompted to log in. And I believe it's the exact same login that they use to log into the Chromebook. And with that being said, so Odysseyware will be used by K through 5 for if they're a virtual student and also during NTI days. And that's how you access it. Okay, any questions about anything that we've talked about? Anything other like just technology that you may have just a burning question about that I could help you with? So if the child has chosen the virtual plan that they are going to be virtual, which means at-home learning, they will be on Edgenuity. Yes, it will be posted through Google Classroom. It'll be posted through Google Classroom. Yes, great question. Thank you. Anybody else? Questions about anything? Do you feel better about the learning at home? I hope you do, because that was the plan, to help make you feel a little bit better about the situation. And I know it's not ideal, and there are lots of ideas out there about what to do and what not to do. And I can promise you this, that at Grayson County Schools, we care very deeply about your children, and we want the best from. We want them to learn, but we want them to be safe. So we're trying to find a balance with all of that, and hopefully this, providing this training will make you feel more comfortable with the process. Anything? Yes. They turn it into Google Classroom. Do you remember where I showed add the document? No, they won't have to. They can just add it to Google Classroom and the teacher will be able to see it. In order to see the student's work, you have to log in with that student's account. And that's really, it's a privacy issue. I mean, we don't want anyone to have access to their Google account. So in order for you to see what they've been assigned, the child would have to log in and then you could see their work. Does that answer your question? Jared, do you want to help me with that question? I'm not sure how else I can answer it. Here, I'm going to let you. You want to take the microphone? Oh, let me tell her one more thing. Let me tell you about this, and honestly, I forgot about it. So in Google Classroom, let me show you this option. Well, I can just tell you about it. It's fine. So there is an option in Google Classroom for you as the parent to get a summary of all of the assignments that the child has received during a week or whatever time period. You will have to give the teacher your email address and just let them know. You can just say, can you please add me as a guardian in Google Classroom? And they'll know what you're talking about. But if you just give them your email, they might not know exactly what you're talking about. But if you'll tell them that you want to be added in Google Classroom as a parent in Google Classroom, you have the option of I think you can see like weekly, daily. You get an email and it gives you have options on how often, because teachers are going to post pretty regularly and that it might kind of blog up your email. But yes, that is an option. Does that help? Okay.
Okay, that was the first thing I was going to say. So second, are you strictly virtual with your children? No. Okay. What grade levels? Seventh and a third. Okay, so third grade will be using Odyssey at your elementary schools, so you'll be able to track a lot of the usage for that child there.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes. Okay, so if they are virtual only, if it complete virtual, they'll be using Edgenuity, the Edgenuity program. I'm sorry, say it. Oh, you want to?
So Edgenuity is one program we've probably been using about 12 years. It has all the content. It is self-paced with the student. The student will be expected to complete a certain percentage per week. You will have not as much teacher engagement. Where your teacher engagement comes in is if your child is not meeting the progress that they need, or if there's something that they need additional help with. That the videos in there. I mean, there are instructors, recorded instructors going through it. There's a reading, all of that. But if they need assistance, they'll be able to get access to a teacher, but they will not have like a lot of contact with the teacher unless they're struggling or they're having problems with pace.
Any other questions? Okay, so I appreciate everyone that came out, and I hope it was informative. And please feel free to reach out to your teachers, especially like I guess kind of as a first line. Reach out to your teachers because different teachers are doing different things as far as pushing things out to Google Classroom. So reach out to your teachers. Also on the Chromebooks, if you will, go ahead and click on the little radio waves and click sign out. And then if you will, the ones that are borrowed from the school, if you will set those on the table as you leave, we would appreciate it. A bench. I'm sorry. The block bench, if you'll set them on the block bench. Thank you all so much for attending. And again, reach out if you need anything from us.